Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. When it comes to your family's health and women's services, and you're looking for excellence in healthcare, look no further than your family medicine physician, Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. Call Dr. Richmond today at 713-453-6962 to schedule your next appointment.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Good afternoon or evening or whatever time of day it is. Now I have 3 kids. I can't really keep track of most times or days. However, I do know that we are the docs here on the Sphere Network. I am Dr. Chandra Batiste, where we are here to educate, inform, and empower you about health and wellness topics that affect us. I thank you for joining us today. And by us, I'm not typically here, but typically I'm here by myself, when Dr. Simone is not here and I'm Skyping. However, today I have a wonderful co-host, Dr. Ashley Winslow. We've already hit it off. We've already chuckled very hard. So I would like to welcome you to the docs. Thank you for joining us. By all means, tell everybody who you are. I mean, I would gladly rattle off all your accolades, but please tell everybody who you are and who you're with and what you do.
I am a chiropractor, a nutritionist, and a nutritionist. Yes. So I specialize in the conditions of musculoskeletal as well as helping people with weight loss.
So you actually tell us what we should and should not eat.
Pretty much, yeah.
And help us.
Now, you know that changes like every year.
Right. So
eggs one year.
Right.
No eggs
right.
another.
Like we, Gary and I, who's a producer, we were just talking about milk and how he doesn't eat hardly any dairy. And this was prior to What the Health. So I can only imagine how your phone or email or website blew up.
Right. What do you think about this? Did you see it?
Did you see it?
I did see it.
And what are your thoughts about it? We had a whole show on it.
I'm still team meat.
You're
now,
still team meat. Okay.
Ever since I was like in high school, I stopped eating beef and pork. So now I'll eat just a little bit of beef every now and again, but pork, that just confirmed I don't ever want to eat pork another day in my life.
Okay.
Ever.
So what, for me, it was kind of a little bit of the difference, because pork has always been like very minimal in my diet anyway, but for me, it was the poultry element of What the Health. Like, I just was really stressed out about the poultry.
Yeah, I think I probably stopped before.
Okay.
I watched,
Okay.
Because once they got through the pig, I was like, you know what, y'all just wrong for this. Like, if you want to go vegan, then that is a great movie, documentary to watch.
Yes.
But if you're like, because I just did a competition, and a fitness competition, and everything was regulated.
You competed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. That was not anywhere in my notes about you, ma'am.
There's probably a lot of stuff about me that
Gary, you I feel a little off guard.
10 minutes.
He did. I just told him that 10 minutes ago. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah.
So you just did a fitness competition?
Yes, I did it in April 29th of 2017. Mm-hmm.
And so if I would have known this, then we would have had to ask for pictures, because I would have loved to see this fitness competition. You may have something.
I might have. You know, if you work that hard, you always have something in the back pocket.
Actually,
let me pull this
it's
up.
my screensaver. Would you like to? You're like, hold on, let me maximize that picture. So as you're looking,
yes,
but And one of my old trainers from back in the day, he did a fitness competition. He's currently my patient, and he was saying he would never do it again because he felt like his body went through too much to get there. As a nutritionist, what do you have to say about people who may feel that way?
I would say that every trainer
Okay.
or every coach has their set regulations on how they bring their people up to the stage.
Okay.
And my trainer, he said, I don't like salads. You're not going to eat a salad. Now, I said, not one salad? He said, not one salad. You're going to
Okay.
be eating potatoes and rice. And I was like,
Oh.
okay. All right.
I can live
we
with
can
that.
do this. So for me, the hardest struggle was keeping track of everything, keeping track of the macros, when I'm supposed to take my natural supplements.
Okay.
It was kind of like, it was that, and it was the amount of time that I spent in the gym. It was the 2 hours a day, 1 hour doing the lift, maybe 1 hour. It could be an hour and a half, depending on the lift.
Okay.
And then you have an hour of cardio, so it was just a lot of time.
Okay.
But the experience was good, and I felt like, yeah, I could do that. And then I saw the stage pictures. I can pick them up. But
Wow.
I saw the stage
Wow.
pictures, and I was like, you know what? There's some things that I kind of want to tweak and check. And then reality hit, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got to go back to work.
Okay. Okay. See, that is where.
Here we go.
That is where I hold up. I just would like to say this y'all can't see this. I'm pretty sure y'all can't. However, this is epic, and I just feel a bit of a way, Jerry. I feel a bit of a way that I am sitting next to somebody who clearly worked very hard for this.
Yes,
It looks amazing.
I had a really good team. Can I put a plug in real quick?
You can go
Okay,
ahead.
Tailored Made Games, Chris White, Stafford, Texas. Hi.
Okay,
Hi.
absolutely.
I love my team. Oh, I miss them a lot.
Well,
but
you looked
yes.
amazing. You
Yes,
looked
it was
amazing.
fun.
So of course we're completely off task. Completely off task.
Focus.
Can you please tell me where you work, where people can find you, and all the reason why we're here today?
Yes. As a chiropractor, I practice chiropractic,
Okay.
As well as a nutritionist. But I am at Stafford Chiropractic Sports and Wellness Clinic in Stafford, Texas. That's 2434 South Main Street. It's South Main Street. It goes two ways, but yes. And
I actually know exactly where you are.
Perfect. I'll see you soon.
And we will talk about me at some point because I do believe in chiropractic therapy, which I did not used to. So so I think that's important to kind of talk about.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been practicing?
I've been in practice since 2015.
2015. Okay, so a couple years, and
Yes.
you've been at Stafford that whole time.
No, I was originally in the Loop, so off 59 in Greenbrier.
Okay,
And
okay.
then I worked, now I'm working, after a year,
Okay.
now I'm working at Stafford. So
Okay.
I'll be wrapping up a year. I'm about 9 months
Perfect.
in.
Perfect. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Huge
That's
step.
wonderful. No, that's
Yes,
wonderful. So
it is.
I want to thank you for joining me today. It would be us. Dr. Simone is actually sick, so people who know Jesus and know health, I need y'all to shoot up a
prayers.
prayer for her because she would be here if she could be here, but she's not feeling good. So by all means, we miss her, and she would be a great addition to this because it seems like Dr. Ashley Winslow is super fun. So it would have been even more epic. However, we're going to make this show fantastic.
Yes.
So thank you for joining me. Okay, so we're going to, of course, start with a hot topic because we like to talk hot topics. We like to make you guys aware of what's going on. And recently, the mandatory healthcare mandate has been repealed. For those of us who kind of know what that means, that just means that our wonderful, amazing, so intelligent president has decided that anything that has President Obama's name on it has to go. And one of the promises that he made was that they were going to repeal this Obamacare, okay? Which means that they repealed the individual mandate. And what that technically means is that they're saying if you don't have healthcare coverage, that the tax piece of it, the piece that says you have been slapped with an extra tax bill, will be officially no longer required. And so you and I were talking about it a little bit before the show.
Absolutely.
And as healthcare providers, the thing that has not affected me is because I don't take any of the healthcare, Affordable Healthcare Act plans. I don't take any of them. partially because it falls into this kind of situation of me not being reimbursed for my services as highly as I'm reimbursed for my services in other areas, and even insurance for a dentist. Taking insurance, we take a hit. Period, point blank. Absolutely. So to take a deeper hit is just not conducive to my practice, and Lord knows I got big bills and I need to be paid for the services accordingly. However, so it won't affect me as a professional. It will affect people, and the statistics for me of how people are like, man, this Affordable Health Care Act, you see these numbers, everybody's signing up. There's more people that have coverage.
Yes.
I think that will then, people will be able to say, ooh, it's not successful. You see this? It's no longer successful because the numbers will fall off. And then it'll be more ammunition to
take it out the map altogether. Absolutely. I totally agree. It's just one of those things where if there's a system set in place, then people will kind of fall in line with it. And having that, well, let's just say you don't have health care because you're saying, hey, I'm not going to get into an accident. I'm not going to need health care. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not going to be diagnosed.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm healthy. And then you actually end up needing it. There's no system set in place so that you can actually be covered, because then it all falls on the hospital, and the hospital will have to, withdraw all those. Will take up all that the services that they provided. And so with that healthcare, it's actually, better for the community altogether. And so
it is. It's 100% across the board.
Yeah.
More people having coverage across the board is better for the healthcare system in general. And so,
especially big hospitals.
Yeah, because these hospitals are eating very big bills.
Yeah.
And so,
yes. You hear me? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
But as like you said, when it comes to specialties such as dentistry and chiropractors, it's because of the allowables are so low, it's one of those things where I can't take that hit. So like you said, chiropractors aren't necessarily going to be directly affected by that, but
the person who needs the chiropractic services that cannot afford out of pocket, meaning they don't have insurance, they're not even covered under Obamacare or the Affordable Health Care Act, they now can't come to you, period. They're not getting services anywhere. So they can't afford the X amount that you may charge or I may charge without insurance. But with insurance, we can't afford to take them. So the patients are kind of being screwed, kind of all
thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, kind of walking around with teeth that are falling out of their heads and or back pain, chronic back pain or other issues that you will definitely discuss, and not being taken care of. So let's see.
See, I'm like,
I
forgot to put
I got you.
Me.
No worries. Let me help you, because we are actually about to end our Facebook Live, but that's okay. No, it's okay. No worries. We appreciate you guys, of course, following us and just kidding. We're not ending our Facebook Live. Whoops. Okay, so once again, I have 3 kids officially now, and my brain tends to be scattered all the time, which is why I was late today. So I did not vow for, new me in 2018. It's the same crazy ass me, just with 3 kids. So actually this portion is actually sponsored by Chiropractic Richmond. Chiropractic Richmond, who has been a wonderful guest of this show. She is a doctor that has her own facility, and this is where you can find excellence in healthcare, which is not an easy task. When you begin that journey, look no further than your local family medicine physician, Dr. Chiropractic Richmond, PLLC. Dr. Richmond offers an array of services including pap smears, breast exams, STI screenings, contraceptive management, prenatal care, and so much more. Call Dr. Richmond to schedule your next appointment today at area code 713-453-6962. Okay, so please, Dr. Winslow, or Dr. Ashley, don't know what your patients call you, but
Dr. Winslow, Dr. Ashley.
Dr. Winslow works. Tell me why you actually started this path to become a chiropractor. What made you say this is what you want to do?
Well, it's a really, really long story, but I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. I've always been into health and wellness. Did martial arts. That's probably another thing you didn't know about me, but I did martial arts in high school. Did that for 8 years. Became a black belt first degree, where I learned about the body's ability to pretty much take care of itself. You know, a lot of meditation going on, things like that. So going into college, I was like, okay, I want to be a doctor because I just like anatomy. Like I really.
And so where did you go to
like
college?
Anatomy. U of H.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you from Houston?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Another thing you didn't know about me. Oh, hey, Chi-Town.
So you're from Chicago.
I
where
am
it's
from Chicago.
brutally cold, and you come all the way down to U of H.
Yes,
Okay.
I came to U of H. And so I went to undergrad there, got my bachelor's in nutrition.
Okay.
And then I realized that I didn't necessarily want to take the path of the MD just because I wanted to find a way where I could help people without medication. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do a PT. Maybe I can do a physical therapist.
Sure.
And then I realized that I just didn't want to do a physical therapist. I liked the idea that as a chiropractor, I could have my own clinic and I could actually see patients from the door. Like basically, I could call the clinic and say, "Hey, I'm in pain. Can you come and treat me?" So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm gonna do chiropractic. I went for chiropractic. I didn't get like this huge. A lot of people, when I find that they're chiropractors, I ask them why they're chiropractors. They said, "Oh, I was in a car accident, and I found that chiropractic helped me immensely."
Okay.
And but that wasn't my story. I was
Okay.
like, I just want to help people with no medication.
Sure.
Is that possible?
Sure.
And so that's what happened. I got my first adjustment, and I was like, okay, I like the mid back, I like the low back adjustment. I don't know about this neck thing.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
like- and everyone has their different opinions and different experiences
Okay.
with their first adjustment. My first adjustment, I didn't like my neck being touched. Like I just didn't.
okay.
But I knew the relief that I was going to get from it.
Sure.
So I would, continued on. And then after about a month or so, I was great.
Okay.
Just completely, like I felt better. I felt more limber. See, you need adjustment right now.
Always.
She's going like this.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I know I
did.
do.
Yep.
I sleep. My career. So let me tell you, just because we've talked about why you became a chiropractor, I will tell you that my experiences with first off, growing up, I had no clue what a chiropractor was. Like I was like, one of my, and I won't say her name because she probably would be like, oh my God. One of my friends from elementary, her dad was a chiropractor, lived in this huge house across the street, like like visual. I was like, dang, it's a big old house, right? And he was a chiropractor. And I was like, that still doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that means. Like, had no clue. And it was 3 years ago that I was driving and I could not turn my body to I couldn't turn my neck to check my blind spots, right? So I had to turn my whole body to check my blind spots. It's like, that's actually dangerous, right? So as I'm turning my body and yelling at my 2 kids at the time, I'm like, this cannot be right. Like, I need to be able to just turn my neck. And so I started going to see a chiropractor because I was like, I was working out a whole lot. So I didn't feel like it had anything to do with me not being like strong enough or anything like that. It was actually painful. So I started seeing a chiropractor. My respect for the field went from like, who needs that? You just need to stretch and warm compresses and thermocare pads and all this other stuff to, oh my God, this is everything. And I started going like once a week because I was recommended for me to go once a week for 6 months. He was like, until you get better, I need to see you once a week. And that's my story. So I appreciate all chiropractors around because I needed it immensely. So, riddle me this. What type of responses do you get being a chiropractor? Meaning when someone says, hey, do you get more of me? My initial, like, what? Who needs that? Do you get that ever? Or do you get people being like, oh my God, girl, I got this right here. Like, where do you kind of fall in that? As far as your experiences.
I was just talking about this. I was literally just talking about this. Okay. So everyone has, it really depends on how you were raised.
Okay.
And kind of what your your upbringing was. Some people were raised in families that always went to the chiropractor, so of course they're going to be gung-ho. I know exactly what I need to do. I'm going to be there. Whether I have pain or not, I'm going to be there. And then a lot of families where they haven't really been exposed, healthcare, you definitely have been exposed to healthcare, whether it be through TV shows, whether it be through advertisement, whether it be through knowing about cancer, breast cancer. There's different things that, you know, I just have to say, like the AMA, the American Medical Association, has a lot more money to distribute to advertising.
Okay.
Chiropractic, not so much. So we're not always in your face, right? So you already know, okay, well, you get a sense of familiarity with the fact that I know when I go to a MD, this is what I'm going to get, right?
Okay.
But with the chiropractor, you're kind of like, well, I'm not sure. And if you don't have that, sense of I already know what they are, I know who they are, I'm familiar with them, then of course you're going to be skeptical.
Okay.
And so so a lot of people, where I feel like right now I'm at a stage where if I have an African American friend, they are like, okay, I'm not against you, but I'm going to keep you on the back burner. So you're not in my everyday routine, but I know where to find you if I need you. Okay. So then I pretty much get people get exposed to me that way. Okay. So they're like, okay, I'm in pain. Can you help me out? And it's still a little bit of skepticism. Sure. Which is totally understandable and it's totally okay. And so they try it out and they're like, wait a minute. This is amazing. Just like your story is.
I'm telling you.
It's exactly what
that
happens.
is my story.
And you're like, wait a minute, what? And it's kind of like your eyes are awakened because there's a sense of feeling your spine for the first time that you're like, wait a minute, I thought I knew what my spine felt like. Now I really know what my spine
for me,
felt
it was a sense of like of the ability to move. Like I was significantly younger and I didn't age backwards. It just felt like my whole my back, my neck, my arms were moving in ways that I wasn't able to move before, whether it was yoga or stretching or whatever. I just wasn't able to get there. So I will say that I am a firm believer of chiropractic services today that I wasn't 3 years ago.
Right, because it's in your spine. Yeah. Not necessarily a muscle problem. It's an actual spinal joint
spinal
problem.
issue. See? This is why she's here. So we actually are ending Facebook Live now.
Oh, okay.
For sure. Because we've been on for like 20 minutes. So we're actually ending it now. I would like to ask everyone to subscribe, please, to our show. We're on all the major platforms, which which include iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. We want you to review our show, please, and not with like me getting all flustered and flipped around today. Okay, typically I'm on it, so not today, but just give us some constructive feedback. If you have any ideas for a show, if you have any guests you would like to see us bring on, please give us some constructive feedback. We would appreciate it. We'd like you to share this Facebook post and the entire show with your family and friends. There are a lot of people out here who felt the same way that I felt about chiropractic services, and most of us, if not all of us, need it. So by all means, please share it. And I know we have Dr. Ashley who would love to see everyone at her place of business. So share, and donate to our mission to continue to bring this kind of content to you every single week. And you can do this at the www.thesphere.tv/donate. So thank you so much, Facebook Live viewers. And if you want to hear more about Ashley and these types of services, by all means, follow us to the show that's going to be put up soon. Thank you. Okay, so awesome. What exactly what's your responsibility as a chiropractor? Meaning, I say dentist, everyone automatically knows that I take care of teeth, right? So what do you feel like your responsibilities are to your patients?
I take care of muscles and joint.
Okay.
So
all right. Is this everywhere though? So is this, if my finger joint hurts, you'll be like,
man,
oh,
you're beating me to like every punch. So I was hello. Okay. So this today actually, I had a patient that jammed her toe. I jammed my toe this weekend, but of course I need a chiro too, right? Okay. But I had a patient that jammed her toe, and she was like, "Man, okay, they put me in this boot, and I've been wearing this boot for about 4 weeks, and I still can't do yoga." And I was like, "Okay. Well." Let's see what we can do.
Now, how did she find you? Why did she choose to come to a chiropractor?
She is she was already a chiropractic patient.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, hey, I know I normally get my spine adjusted, but is there a way that you can help me with another joint in my body other than the spine? Okay. And I was like, Absolutely.
Okay.
So I checked out her joint. I said, did you know that people get their ankles adjusted as well? Like runners always get their ankles adjusted. Like it just feels amazing, like you're floating on air.
Okay.
So I evaluated her toe.
Okay.
And something as small as a toe, yes. I evaluated her toe. I adjusted it. I did some Graston on it. I'll tell you a little bit about Graston in a little bit. And she was better. She was back in about 2 weeks. She was back to doing yoga, being able to stand on one foot. Awesome. Yes, on her toe. Like when I tell you she's yoga, she's queen yoga.
She's a yoga.
Yeah,
Yogi.
she is the hot yoga. Like
Okay.
she was like, I'm gonna die if I can't do yoga anymore.
Got you.
So we got her back. So yeah.
So any joint.
Yes, pretty much. Yep.
We'll say
You
pretty
name a
much
joint,
any
I've
joint.
got you. Even TMJ.
I was gonna say TMJ. You can do something with the TMJ.
TMJ, yes.
Okay, because I see a lot of
Absolutely.
patients that have severe TMJ disorders, which is temporal muscular joint, by the way, which is this joint, which is what I deal with a lot with patients who have a severe disorder, that they're unable to get any relief, or we put them in a night guard and they're not really,
Bruxism,
they're not really stopping what they're doing. So we're just protecting their joint as much as we can. So you're telling me chiropractor could help with that.
Yes. And it's a good segue into going from the actual joint to the muscles.
Okay.
So as you know, they have these big things surrounding your joints called muscles.
Sure.
And one of the things with, clenching down at night is sometimes it's not always just your TMJ. Sometimes it's the muscles that are actually causing you to plunge down.
It's typically the
So-
muscles, which are spawned by some sort of neuromuscular
Right.
issue, which is
So
nerve and muscle.
Right. So understanding how everything kind
Sure.
of fits together and connects together is my job, so that I can I can assess not just the joint, but also the muscles and the nerves that innervate that joint as well.
Perfect. Well, see, there you go. So if I've thrown her two, which is a finger and a TMJ, and she's able to fix it all. So what type of treatments do chiropractors provide? So you just brought up one of them, so you're
Yes,
going to explain them to me.
Absolutely.
What type of treatments what do you provide, or
Yes.
chiropractors are supposed to provide?
So primarily, I have to talk about the adjustment, because the adjustment is what we do. Like that is our
Bread
our
and butter.
backbone. That is our bread
Literally.
and butter action. Right? I got your back.
You like that?
heard
You like? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So for your adjustments, there's different restrictions that happen within your spine. Your spine, you have several different levels. You really need a neck adjustment.
Yeah, my back is hurting.
So you have several different levels. Your neck has 7, your thoracic spine has 12, and your lumbar, your low back has 5, right? Then you also have your sacrum and then your coccyx underneath that, which make up your tailbone. So all of those bones. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yes. Hold that right there. So all of those bones, as you can see, in between them, they have those yellow kind of stringy things coming from those. Those represent your nerves. Okay, they're cut off, but they continue and they actually innervate your organs, right? They innervate your muscles. They innervate your skin, so you can feel, so that you can move. So whenever those nerves are irritated, because there's compression and there's irritation and you can't get your joints to move properly, then that's going to send a signal to pretty much everywhere else in your body that's saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable, right? So your brain gets a signal, and then the places where that nerve innervates also gets a signal and saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable. That's why you have carpal tunnel, tingling in your hands, because it's a nerve problem, not necessarily a finger problem, right? And so when the restriction is actually removed in the spine, then your nerve gets released, and you feel that that relief. Okay. All right. Another thing that we were talking about is the Graston instrument. This is this fancy thing. It actually kind of looks like a torture tool. I do apologize because it looks like a torture tool, but this is actually what I use in order to break up soft tissue adhesions and scar tissue.
Okay.
So we are not massage therapists. However, this is the crowbar. This is what I use
God,
for
that looks scary.
hamstrings and low backs. This is what I use on a lot of our
So is
athletes.
that muscle for more muscle stuff?
Yes, this
Okay.
is all for
Okay.
a rejuvenation of the muscle, as well as increased blood flow.
Okay.
So it's a lot of and then this is cupping. We do cupping as well. So yes.
That was oh my God, the swimmer Michael Phelps. I felt like
Yes.
made
He
a
brought
big-
it back.
He brought it back. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
because he put something on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever years ago. I guess it had to be during
all
the
he had to do was swim.
Right,
That's
there
all
we
he
go.
did.
There
He
we
used
go.
it and he swam.
And he swam. That's what it was.
And
So
there
he
was
had
the
the
evidence
big,
of the cupping
huge,
that was on there.
like
Absolutely.
not bruising, but it was the
No,
suction.
it's bruising.
Is it bruising?
It's
Okay.
bruising. Mhm.
And everyone was like, "Did you get hit with a bag of balls?" Like no one knew what was going on, and then that's when cupping was discussed. So what
Yes.
does cupping do?
So cupping helps to, if you imagine, if you're getting massage, right?
Okay.
And your massage therapist is pushing down into the skin.
Okay.
Okay. Cupping does the reverse of that. It pulls up. Okay. So
Okay.
it's not only pulling up on your skin, but it's also pulling up on your fascia that's connected to your muscles as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Okay. So that space that it's creating is not only releasing some of the tension and some of the adhesions and scar tissue that develops in your muscle, but it also helps with your blood flow. So it's bringing the stagnant or bad blood to the surface, and then it's actually allowing new fresh blood to come through.
Okay. So giving you good
yes.
blood flow. That's
Yes,
awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And why would you need that as an athlete? Like why would Michael Phelps have done that?
So as you challenge yourself, your body. Well, number one, have you ever worked out and you couldn't move for like a few days?
Yeah.
It's because you're literally tearing your muscle.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, so if you take it even to a lesser extent, you're still tearing your muscle. And so that you need a recovery from that. Your everyday actions, sometimes people do, I shouldn't have done that motion. And you know that because your muscle, it had like a slight tear to
Sure,
it.
sure.
Okay. And so whenever you're putting your body underneath that stress, it's kind of one of those things where, okay, well, if you ask me or you demand something from me, I'm going to need something back. And so that recovery is so important.
Okay.
That's why you hear about cryotherapy.
Sure.
It's like you challenge your body and then you give it a break. Thank you, Michael Phelps. So,
yeah.
So as you can see, that he had a lot of stagnant
He
blood within
really
his
did.
muscle. Yeah. And so the thing that I tell people about cupping and Michael Phelps is that there is no National Cupping Association that that had to pay him to market. He did it because he knew that it worked.
Right. He did it because he needed it. Period.
Right,
Point
exactly.
blank.
He
And
didn't get
needed-
paid any extra money
Right.
in order to do that. It
Right.
wasn't any type of, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put this tape on me and they're going to put their logo on.
Right,
It
right.
was just overall cupping. So.
Well, and the interesting piece of this was that he did this with, of course, like you said, not being reimbursed or whatever. He did this during the Olympics when he needed it. It wasn't like let me see if this is going to work. He had already done this at some point in time in his training, and he needed it for that moment. And I think that was the coolest part of it. Was like, this wasn't a dry run. Like, this wasn't I need everything to work for me. No, this was like
part of my regimen.
This is part of my regimen, and I know
exactly.
I need it. And
Yes.
so
and a lot of
you know,
people will have chiropractors on their staff because they know that chiropractic helps. Chiropractors are part of the even American Olympic team.
Okay.
Like, they have chiropractors on staff because they know that it helps their athletes.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt has a chiropractor.
Sure.
Like, all of NFL teams have chiropractors on staff.
cool. That's actually awesome. That's
Because
actually
of
awesome.
the power of not only the soft tissue stuff, but the adjustment.
The adjustment piece, yeah, and like you said, the recovery element, right?
Yes.
Getting the muscles kind of to bounce back faster than they would on their own. Like, that actually looks so painful.
It does look painful. So if you notice, you see the bulbs. He's having fun over here with these pictures. But if you see the bulbs and you notice on the sides of the trunk area, you have like these streaks.
Yeah.
That is now, all these pictures are extremes, right?
Of course.
So it's a form of Graston
Okay.
on the sides.
Okay.
So basically, he probably had like some rib pain. And so they were trying to get in between his the cartilage and his rib.
Sure.
And so basically what they do is kind of like scrape there, but that's more on the ancient Asian protocol.
Sure.
Now they're realizing with research that you don't necessarily have to go that aggressive approach in order to get optimal results.
Now, would that person be uncomfortable days later or that night, or you know what I mean? Like, what's the recovery on something?
I will
and now,
say
of
that
course,
it's not
drastic.
as bad as it seems. Right.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not as bad as it seems. A lot of
Because
people
I got a
that
bruise
get,
from like 3 weeks ago that is still here, and it hurt. I'm just saying, like, maybe you could just cup that to give me some circulation, just so I can get that bruise to go away.
That's hilarious. Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yeah, killing me. She got the solution for everything.
Well, musculoskeletal, right? So muscles and joints, but yes. So when I first started doing cupping, a lot of people had those concerns. Hey, is it gonna hurt? And honestly, you just feel like a really light pinch.
Okay.
But for the most part, it just feels like some suction on your skin.
Okay.
It definitely looks a lot worse than it actually feels.
Well, that would actually be helpful for me because that looks like that hurts.
Oh, let me tell you about the 10 seconds of pain.
I don't want to know the 10 seconds of pain.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So, no, we'll talk about the 10 seconds of pain. So this portion of the show is actually sponsored by the Sphere, which is not 10 seconds of pain. It's something that if you are actually starting your business or you're looking for a place to advertise, you can actually come to us where we can help you reach thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product. You can get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. So, you tease us with 10 seconds of pain. What is 10 seconds of pain?
All right, so everybody wants to know, is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt? And so I say, I use Graston. I love Graston technique.
Okay.
So I love using the instruments. Whenever I use the instruments, it is not painful at all.
Okay.
You're just like, oh, somebody's kind of working on my muscles.
Sure.
You feel that. And then I say, but then you get the 10 seconds of pain. So when I put the tools away and I actually use my hands, that's when it's a lot more painful because that's the. Sorry. He's over here laughing head back. I know that feeling. Yes,
you know that
it's
feeling?
one of those. Yeah. So it's one of those things where if you bear down with me for like 10 seconds of pure hell, you will feel so much better getting off the table. And that's what happens if you can. Some people do 10 seconds. Some people just do just 5. Just 5 sweeps.
Okay.
And then we're good. And so I find that helps out a lot with the effectiveness of each treatment.
Okay.
If you don't want the 10 seconds of pain or 5 seconds of pain, then you can just get the Graston tools, and then that's fine. But it's just not going to be as effective each treatment as
if you're not getting those 10 seconds of pain.
Yes.
Got you. Like, don't touch me. Just let me have the instrumentation. I got you. I would do the 10 seconds of pain. Like, I'd be like, why not? Because why am I here if I'm not going to feel better? Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell me what benefits do you see? What are the main benefits, or not you, well, you would, but the main benefits of seeing a chiropractor regularly? Like, that was my issue when I started feeling better, is I stopped going regularly. What would be the benefit to someone like me that you'd be like, you know what, you would have seen this, this, and this if you would just continued to go regularly?
Remember I told you that a lot of people will come into the office because they have a problem.
Right.
They have the pain, right? It really depends on how you are understanding chiropractic and how it should be emphasized into your lifestyle as a goal. Remember, we also talked about nerves. We talked about the ability for your nerves to fully function. There are things that go on with your body that you are not aware of, okay? So pain is not always an indicator or a correct indicator of dysfunction, okay? So let's say you have, nerve irritation that's going to, your gut, right? And you're realizing, or let's not get, I was going to go graphic. Don't want to go graphic.
You can. It's the docs. We tend to do a lot.
But things aren't moving as smoothly, right?
Okay, yeah.
So if you had gotten adjusted, because let's say the problem was because of the nerve.
Sure.
If you had gotten it adjusted, you wouldn't have to be dealing with it. But you don't know that because you're not thinking, I just need to get my spine reset.
Sure.
He's just playing around with pictures.
Yeah, he likes. That's one of his things.
I love it. I love it. Keep going. Okay, but so one of the advantages of getting your spine mobilized and continually mobilized is that making sure that your body is is functioning at a optimal
Sure.
at an optimal state.
Okay.
Yes. And so, yeah, I definitely encourage everyone to get adjusted. My husband gets adjusted. He's like, oh man, I don't feel good. Get adjusted. Just in case.
Okay.
Just in case. Get
Okay.
adjusted.
Okay.
Right?
Well, these are the things that it's kind of like full body optimization, right? Whether you are working out or you're not, it's just one of those. It's not just for athletes. It's not just for someone who stubs their toe. It's not for the yogi. It's not for the
or just pregnant women. We do pregnant women as well.
And pregnant women. I'm 7 weeks postpartum, and you feel every ache and pain, and potentially, I know I probably would have felt a lot better if I was getting regular chiropractic therapy. And one of the things is hard, I'm glad you said that, because finding a prenatal person chiropractor is very hard. Someone who's comfortable touching a pregnant woman, because it's even hard to find a massage therapist that wants to touch a pregnant woman. So I wish I would have thought about it, because I needed my back worked on, and I needed it, and the young lady did a good job. However, I did not get off the table being like, whew, that was great, I don't need to see you again. I was like, oh God, when can you come back, right? It wasn't like, ooh, see you later, girl.
Right,
right. So I definitely know that it would have been a little bit different if I would have seen a chiropractor.
Probably.
so no, I definitely agree. Yeah. So the idea is now, give me some information about sciatica, because it looks like we could talk about, I know there's a lot of there's athletes that watch the show, but I'd rather discuss something that may be a little bit more common for people who aren't just athletes, because we could sit here and talk rotator cuff and tendonitis, and those are all great. Those are wonderful. I think that athletes may respect the idea of seeing a chiropractor more quickly than someone who deals with something like sciatica. Right?
Right. I think knowledge is power.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because the reality of it is that, like you said, these football teams and they have chiropractors at their
disposal.
Ready. Okay. Versus someone who's like, man, my sciatica is bothering me, or their leg starts tingling, or these other things that are sciatica. Explain sciatica and how a chiropractor could help with somebody that has somebody that has sciatica.
Absolutely. Is there a way that you can put up the picture of the spine again for me? All right. So sciatica is derived from a actual nerve in your body called a group of nerves in your body called the sciatic nerve group. And so you have in your lumbar spine, which is the lowest, the lowest part of your vertebral bodies. You have your cervical, which is your neck, your thoracic, which is where your ribs come from, and then you have your lumbar, which are 5 bones. Okay, so your nerves exit out of each 5 bones, and then they actually come back together to create your sciatic nerve. Okay, so then once they come together, create your sciatic nerve, they actually travel through your glute.
Okay.
Well, a deep muscles called your piriformis, but through deep glute muscles, right? Okay. And then they innervate your leg. So then they split. Once they go into your leg, then they split and they go to whether it be your toe, whether it be your calf muscle, whether it be your quad, different places that require attention. So whenever there's an impingement, true sciatica, whenever there's an impingement in your lumbar spine, whether that may be a disc herniation or that could be a foreign object such as like a cancer or something like that, that will cause a lot of discomfort, and it'll cause discomfort in a specific nerve root. Any nerve root that goes past your knee, so it could go down your thigh to the outside of your shin. It could be to the tip of your toe. Sure. Now that is because your nerve is being irritated. So if you have true sciatica, it's because of something that's going on in your back. You have pain in your leg, not because there's a problem in your leg, it's because there's a problem in your back. So that's why it's very important that when you're having those numbness and tinglings and weakness, that you actually get your back checked out. Now, pseudo-sciatica is remember I told you that your nerves exit out your low back, your lumbar spine, and then they come together, then they go through deep glute muscles. So if there is tightness in your deep glute muscles, or your piriformis. Have you ever heard of piriformis syndrome? That is when your muscles are so tight that they're actually pushing on your sciatic nerve, that group of muscle, and then causing that impingement, causing the nerve to be irritated, therefore going down. So it's very important for you to get it properly diagnosed so that you get the proper treatment. So that's sciatica, because I feel that a lot of people overdiagnose themselves with sciatica. I got sciatica. Okay,
and you're
what
like,
kind
no,
of
right?
sciatica?
You're like the real thing where there's actually something foreign or something actually
or osteophytes, arthritis,
right.
things
Like
like
there's
that.
actually a skeletal problem that is affecting your sciatica at your sciatic nerve versus muscles that are pushing on it, you know, kind of externally.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So this portion, and we're gonna pause because I need you to get this shirt, and I need you to support KOG because she's awesome. So this portion of the show is actually sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at kogpassion.com. That's kogpassion.com, and use coupon code DOPE, that's with the exclamation point, for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now, sizes are selling out fast. So, of course, if we're dealing with pseudosciatica, you got them.
Yes.
I mean, guaranteed. You have your Graston technique. You have all your tools and instruments to get that muscles, which you were talking about, that actually could be pinching on that nerve taken care of. Now, if it's something like, of course, a cancer or something foreign, is that something that you could help with?
I don't help with cancer.
Right.
I help with the musculoskeletal discomforts that are associated with cancer. Now, it could be a lot of different things. So it could be a disc herniation. What you will experience in a lot of chiropractic offices are x-rays.
Okay.
So with x-rays, we can see narrowing. We can't necessarily see the disc because the disc isn't calcium deposits, so we can't see, you know, what would be bone. You can just see the space, but we see the space in between
that should be there versus the space that may or may not. Right.
Exactly. So if there's a possible disc herniation and your disc is either degenerated or just herniated and it's narrowed, then we can see that through an x-ray, then we refer you. Right? We refer you for an MRI. We also refer you to see an orthopedic to see if you need further care.
Got it.
That way.
Got it.
Okay. So there's some disc herniations that we can actually work on, but we need to see the intensity of like the disc herniation. How far is that disc actually going into your spinal canal?
Got it.
Got it.
it.
And then, what was I going to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so another reason that you could have, like, where was I? Oh, okay, yes.
There we go.
Got it.
Reset.
Osteoarthritis.
Okay.
So osteoarthritis could have bone spurs that impede into your canal, therefore pushing on your nerve roots.
Okay.
And they can also cause irritation, though that radicular pain, that numbness, tingling going down your legs.
Sure.
And so their chiropractic does not reverse osteoarthritis.
Right.
So once the bone spurs are there, they're there. We can help. So there are studies that say that we can help with the progression of osteoarthritis so that it doesn't progress as fast.
Okay. Wonderful.
And it also helps to reduce some of the discomfort that you're having. So I don't know if you've heard of a lot of people that go to surgeons for their back pain, and they're like, "Hey, doc, do I need surgery for this?"
Sure.
And the surgeon will always tell them, "Oh, you'll know when you need it. Like, we know what the problem is.
Okay.
We know that there's osteoarthritis that's occurring in your spine. Your bones are growing into areas that they should not be growing into, and you're experiencing pain. And I understand that. And they know the risk that back surgery has. So the surgeon will say, you will get to the point where you can't take pain anymore, and then you will end up getting surgery.
Sure.
Right. Until then, a lot of people find that chiropractic helps.
Well, as we have heard, there's if you're an athlete, if you work out, if you golf, play ball, any sort of athletic activity, Dr. Ashley Winslow can help you with that. If you don't do anything athletic at all besides, get up and walk around from your house to work and all these other things, but you so happen to stub your toe,
yes,
Dr. Ashley Winslow can help. If you have things like osteoarthritis and things like that, where it may be a little bit more severe and there's bone spurs, etc., based off of the condition, you can help. So it seems like there's just, you can go down the list and check off where you can help. If you're pregnant, she can help you.
Yes.
You know, so it seems like there's a lot of areas and places and people that you can help. The list does not stop for you, which is wonderful. However, they need to know where they can find you. So list everywhere that they can find you. What's your social media handle, your address again, your phone number, if they can text you. I doubt they can, but if they can, let them know all these wonderful places that they can reach you.
I am at Stafford Chiropractic Sports and Wellness. Our phone number is 281-499-2424. Once again, that's 281-499-2424. We're located at 2434
Don't send them to the wrong place.
Right. Go to the website, staffordchiropracticclinic.com. Okay. On Facebook, you can find us at Stafford Chiropractic. I also have like a personal page, Ashley Winslow. I have my Instagram, Dr._Winslow.
Okay.
And then I just got on Snapchat, so I don't really remember that. Like last week. But yeah, you can go there. So
there she is.
Yes, that to the right, that was her during Hurricane Harvey, where we helped a lot of the first responders.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
In the middle is when the Astros won, so you see me with my blue and orange.
There you go.
So.
Represent. Even though you're not from here, I won't hold it against you.
Hey, I won't hold it against you.
Yeah,
You're from Houston.
Chicago Cubs won the year before last. So
Absolutely.
My husband cried. So
really?
Well, I don't know if he cried, but
Who
my
does
mother-in-law cried. He's from Houston, but his family's from Gary, so he was like super hype. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm South Side, so White Sox.
Oh.
That's more so. I guess the Cubs can have that.
Okay, but you were not really rooting for them. I got it. So I'd like to thank you again for coming. I've learned a lot, which is always great. That's part of why I still do this show, because I learned with you guys, because I am a dentist and I only specialize in teeth. So if you need a dentist, want a brand new set of teeth, I can do that at my dental practice, which is located at the corner of Elite Dental Wellness. It's not located on the corner. Jesus. Lord God.
She is so real, y'all. I love it.
I mean, it's located on a corner, which is Fondren and Westheimer. The name of the practice is Elite Dental Wellness. You can find that website, which is www.houstondentalwellness.com. The phone number is 713-789-8680. You can follow me on Instagram at hotdoc.com or Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Paris, all those wonderful places. Ashandra Batiste. And of course, we want you back next week. So like I said, subscribe, please, please, please. And thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Winslow.
Thank you for having me again. It was so much fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. Peace out, people.